So my name is Ryan Moyle. I work for Tallgrass Energy. I'm the Vice President of Gas Services. And in my role, I oversee the scheduling, revenue, contracts, and business systems groups. Been at Tallgrass for about 12 years now. And I've been the Vice President actually just January of this year.
Okay. And how's that, the implementation over that span of time? Like, what's that been like for you guys? What's, quite the stretch.
So when we started in 2012, like I said, I had just started, and that's when we were going through our initial implementation. That implementation was a little more difficult. It was a much shorter time frame. I believe it was about 9 months or so to get 3 of our natural gas pipelines on the system. And we had a real firm deadline. And so it was those implementations were stressful, I would say a lot more difficult than these implementations we've done the last couple of years. These last 3 that we've done have been leaps and bounds better.
Why is it better now than it was then?
So I think there's a lot that's changed. I think on the Quorum side, there just seems to be a lot more organization and things are more kind of built out. I think we also, as a company, we're more mature and we know what to expect. We've been on Quorum, QPTM for some of our other assets. So we know, we're just more familiar with the system. We kind of know the ins and the outs. Communication's been a lot better. We've worked with specific project teams in these implementations, and that's gone really well because we know exactly who we're working with. We know who to reach out to. We know, issue resolution, all of that stuff.
Okay, cool. All right, that's great.
Yeah.
So what would you say are as far as the software, the tool, QPTM for Tallgrass, what are the kind of the biggest impacts that software does, or how does it help Tallgrass and your team the most?
Yeah. I mean, really across my groups, there's been impacts really in efficiencies, I would say. The group I'm probably most familiar with, I came from scheduling. So the scheduling process, if we were to do that on previous systems or even try to do something manually, it would take hours upon hours. Our scheduling process now takes 15 to 30 minutes. So there's a lot of efficiencies there. There's on the billing side, the QPTM has allowed our commercial group to be really creative. It's flexible.
Nice.
We've found ways to use the system to, bill certain rates and certain deals. So it's allowed a lot of flexibility there. And then contracts is a little more straightforward. But again, it's nice having that all in one system, that you can do all that stuff in one system.
Not have to bounce out, do something else in Excel or whatever, things like that.
Yep.
How would you describe kind of the interaction with Quorum's support team?
Yeah.
And maybe talk a little bit about managed services too, if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. So, kind of a funny story. When we implemented, I believe it was our first pipeline of these last 3 that we've done. And actually when we went on to version 17, we signed up for managed services. And we thought, this is going to be great. We can run everything by them. We were on managed services for about 3 months, and we didn't even realize that we had another support team that we had in addition. So it's been, and that was on us. We just thought managed services, managed services, managed services. We were just disregarding support. So, but no, they've actually both, I will say, 12 years ago, support looked totally different. It was, there were some frustrations on our end with support. Now it's much, much better. It's much smoother. There's a lot better communication. The managed services piece has been great because we're able to kind of separate out our issues versus our enhancements. And we have good relationships with both. And so it's just made things a lot easier. It's given us a lot more confidence in the process and in Quorum too, knowing that we have, points of contact that we can reach out to if something comes up. And, we have had critical issues in the past 3 to 6 months, and they get resolved quickly. And so that's always reassuring as well.
Nice. That's good to hear. Yeah. Appreciate that. So what trends, I guess, are you seeing in the industry, kind of the things that you might be dealing with or anything like that that you can talk about over the next 5 years that you're You know.
I think obviously, and one thing I actually picked up from this morning's session was I think natural gas is always going to be around. And so that's kind of the stability behind, I would say, the next 5 years. But I think we're going to see more trends towards the renewables, towards other commodities, whether it's hydrogen, CO2, things like that. And so I think it's just going to be, what's going to be interesting is to see where those opportunities arise and what kind of flexibility we can leverage, not only with our Quorum products, but with some of our other businesses to really capitalize on those opportunities.
Would you recommend our solution to other companies out there?
The growth that I've seen and the relationships that we've been able to build with each other between Tallgrass and Quorum is really, it's really led me to say absolutely. I think that Quorum, easy to work with, they're flexible, creative. You've been able to find solutions for everything we've thrown at you guys. And so that's something that I really appreciate and Tallgrass does as well.
All right, perfect, thanks.